Did we need this? I think a massive issue with adaptations is that if you follow the source material too closely, your adaptation won't be good. Books don't translate to films. You have to filter out all the garbage that works for literature but doesn't work for cinema. Same goes for games. You can't translate what the FNAF experience is like in a movie, but you can tell an interesting story surrounding FNAF and hope everything works out. Or, just don't make a movie. Not saying giving up is a good idea, but given the opportunity, I'd pull out. Even at odds of working, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie succeeds in telling a story worth watching in the end. Mike's journey through feeling at fault for his brother's kidnapping, combined with his responsibility as a parental figure for his sister, combined with the weight of killer animatronics possessed by dead children on his shoulders, is really fun to watch. I like Mike. I also like Matthew Lillard, but he's barely in the movie. FNAF is considered a horror game because of all the violence and jump scares, so it's funny how the FNAF movie has barely any violence and basically no jump scares. Basically not even a horror movie. I believe Scott Cawthon realized his fan base consisted of loyal fans and little children, and decided that it probably shouldn't include the murder, child abuse, and spooky stuff parents wouldn't approve of.
Was that the bite of 87?
FNAF has always been a franchise in denial about who its audience is, but the FNAF movie makes it pretty clear that it's for the kids. It's about time FNAF finally steps off its pedestal. No fancy animatronics or famous actors or a legitimate heart-filled narrative is going to fix a film that ultimately doesn't answer the question as to why it exists. The answer is money, duh. But if there's no answer besides that, then the world will happily throw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie in the trash bin alongside other horror films that can't justify their own existence. Horror is all about balance. How can you scare your audience while also making them laugh, cry, or cheer? FNAF succeeds at its story. The relationship between Mike and his sister is genuinely the soul of this film, but I can get that relationship elsewhere. How do the animatronics help build up that relationship? Well, they represent what will happen to Mike's sister if he leaves her. William Afton represents the dark side of Mike, one that is solely concerned with his own life and values, but it fails to deliver that seat-squirming horror that made FNAF what it is today. There is no atmosphere, there is no unique direction, there is no scary. A lot of people are whining about the fort building scene because seeing their precious robo babies acting like children bothers them. Like, go outside? Little scenes like this add complexity to a world that was previously basic. All good adaptations take inspiration from their source material rather than copy it beat for beat. These little details make up for FNAF's missteps in the horror department. Ultimately, if given the choice, I'll pick the game any day. But the movie is not a bad alternative if gaming really isn't your thing. I've been a fan of FNAF from the start, but I didn't need this. Maybe this franchise will finally be put to rest.